bullshit. Because if we cannot see the movie Selma being acted out right here in real time before our eyes, the police murders, the police brutality, none of which was ever brought to trial or prosecution, it has remained the same in terms of the system and our relationship to it. This is what we're dealing with. I thought long and hard after a brief depression of seeing the brutal arrogance of this administration to not see the irregularities that was running rampant throughout the Ferguson Police Department, that was under investigation, mind you. The irregularities of the prosecution, the irregularities of the grand jury, the false testimony, the unconstitutional statutes presented before the jury, none of this made one iota difference in terms of this system. And I had to think long and hard on why that is. How is that possible with a black president, a black attorney general, for such blatant corruption to be vindicated and just an onslaught of, I'm choosing my words carefully because this is PG-13. But for this to be shoved down our throats by this administration, who has overwhelmingly supported this administration, the very people for their support to be taken for granted, and the continuation of the benign neglect policy for African Americans in this country is a very bitter and a very large pill to swallow. And I come to the realization that this is not about justice. This is not about the facts of the case. This is not about us versus them. What this boils down to is that we have a situation of political, national proportions. The Democratic Party is unwilling to convict an officer under their watch with a Democratic governor in Missouri, with a Democratic mayor and a Democratic governor in New York before the 2016 elections. Because if they were to do so, they would lose the support of quote-unquote middle white America forever. That's what this is about. And why would they risk losing the support of middle white America forever and ever when black people have shown that they're unwilling to support a third party and give their blind support to Democratic Party? They know they can take us for granted because we have nowhere else to go. Hence the benign neglect policy that has been in place since the Nixon administration. They owe us nothing, they promise us nothing, and for that we get nothing. And until we do something different, this brutal example of insanity in the political arena and how we are treated by this system and our relation to this system will continue. Until we have a third rail that can electrify this country, electrify the people, and electrify the world, we will continue to be taken for granted. Black lives only matter when we shopping at other people's stores. Black lives only matter when we singing and dancing. Black lives only matter when we on the basketball court. Black lives only matter when we on the football field until we get carried off the field. Black lives only matter in uniform. Black lives only matter in private prisons. Black lives only matter when slaves were sold. Black lives only matter in boxing rings. But it doesn't mean a thing in the wrong end of a cop's gun or a chokehold, because then black lives don't matter. Forensic pathologist expert testimony don't matter. Unconstitutional statutes hand-fed to a hand-picked grand jury don't matter. Being unarmed don't matter. A community of witnesses don't matter. Videotape murder don't matter. A black attorney general don't matter. A black president don't matter. No justice, no indictment, no remorse, no revenge in a system that pretends that black lives matter. We got to do something different, y'all. Thank you.